Hi guys, Master Indigo. By now you've most likely already seen the Payday VR teaser trailer, but I still decided to make a video about it, what I think about the whole VR thing for Payday 2 and so on. So if you actually didn't know, I do own a HTC Vive myself. I've played quite a bit around with it, some video games and so on, so I know how the game will be like. I played the John Wick VR game, which to be honest wasn't really that great. It was just alright, nothing special. It could have been so much better. I was a little bit disappointed by that, but Payday 2 is a huge game and we're gonna get so much stuff in the game because it's gonna be the full game in VR, so that's awesome. Here you can see the classic Bang Heist, Harvest and Trusty, Wolf, Hoxton, Chains, 2 bots, 1 player. Here you can see you equipping your mask, and on your left hand you will see your objectives, health, ammo count, cable size, molotovs, grenades, whatever, ammos and objectives, whatever is going on. And I think that's kind of like a watch. You can see timer as well as your health and stamina meters, so you don't have to watch the screen all the time. So overall it's really good because you can play with people who are playing with normal computer and not in VR, so that makes the possibilities endless. Basically you can play in VR, and otherwise most games that are in VR you play with other VR players, and there are not that many people who own VR headsets compared to normal people, so playing with cross-play with normal players is going to be really good. You can see that you can actually equip a pistol as well as a knife at the same time, so maybe even any secondary weapon as well as a knife. So I would assume as long as it's one-handed weapon, maybe you can use a knife at the same time, or any melee weapon that you might hold. So I don't know, playing VR is going to be a little bit different, of course. It's going to bring new strategies in stealth. You can peek around corners, I would assume, a little bit differently. Maybe you can even go lying on the ground, which is not possible in Payday 2 otherwise. You can see the player holding an assault rifle, but he's also holding the assault rifle, unless this is an SMG secondary, but I think it's the assault rifle here. With only one hand, and on the other hand he's actually pointing at the civilians to get down and so on. So this is no longer stealth, but it's gonna be a little bit different than just pressing F to shout down civilians. Maybe you'll have to like point at them, as you can see here in this gameplay, to get down. Here you can see smashing with actually hitting the glass, and then pressing right button to take jewelry. I'm assuming that's the trigger, gonna be the trigger on the controller. We don't know if it's gonna come to any else platform than HTC Vive, but at least you can see it in HTC Vive on the gameplay trailer, so I would assume at least that. Not sure about Oculus Rift, but of course a room scale tracking for Oculus is not nearly as good as it's for HTC Vive. So here we can see some Akimbo action, so you'll be holding both of your weapons, and this is something that's not possible in well, while playing normally. So you can just get your hands to different locations and maybe aim to your right and to your left, and you don't have to turn around to shoot people. So that could be potentially quite interesting. And here you can see another player playing in VR, and the second player seeing him normally on his screen whenever he's helping up. Of course the animations are gonna be a little different. It would look really silly if your hands would just float here, so it's gonna look just like it normally would for the other players. And here you can see just some other gameplay. This guy is ducking around in First World Bank, taking some cover, and here in Hotline Miami shooting up with one hand actually, I think. Here in Big Bank you can see shooting, and with LMGs this could be quite nice. And grenade launcher, the big lead grenade launcher, minigun as well, and that's basically everything, all your content in VR. So that's actually really massive. To be honest, I think this might be the biggest VR game content-wise whenever this comes. They say beta starts in 2017. I hope the full version comes in this year as well, but we do not know really. And as they only say that beta starts in 2017, they don't say month, so it could be like month before the year ends or something like that, maybe even the last day of the year. So just think it's gonna be the last day of the year and you'll be just happy whenever it comes earlier than that. So as I told you already, I already have a HTC Vive, so whenever this launches, it's gonna be free for all Payday 2 players. It's gonna be cross-play with everybody, normal players as well as other VR headsets if those are possible into the game. So that's really cool, making this really huge for VR. And I'll be sure to make videos about it if possible, if this even ever comes out. I mean, it looks cool so far, but it wouldn't be the first time the game being cancelled or something. Oh, well, it's not a full game. Well, it's a full game, but not a different thing. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyways, maybe whenever this comes out, I'll try to make some videos of each heist in VR and how they differentiate from normal play. I don't know. It's gonna be a little bit harder, I would assume, because you don't really move as fast in VR, because you actually have to physically move yourself in the room. And of course, there's gonna be some sort of track motion. We don't know locomotion, what it's gonna be about. I hope there's gonna be different options, because some people get motion sick depending on the option. I know that some VR games only have teleportation, but I don't really like teleportation. I like the trackpad movement a little bit more. If you go watch something like Onward, you will see how the trackpad movement works. You will have your left thumb on the Vive's trackpad and you will just move using your finger there, and that's gonna be quite nice. And of course you can move in real life, but your room is not gonna be big enough to not move in game as well with your trackpad, whatever. So I hope there's gonna be different motions for people. So I don't know, because some people get motion sick from teleportation, some get sick from the trackpad motion. I don't know. Anyways, that's everything I have to say about Payday 2 VR now. It sounds really good. It could be potentially really good in VR. A little bit harder than normal gameplay, of course, because you are limited. But we shall see, I'll try to make videos about it whenever we get more information and so on. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in my next video. See you later. Master Indigo, signing out.